Well, hey gang, how you doing? It's Jonathan again for Tailhunter International. Time once again for the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report, and this is going to cover all of the fishing action for our Tailhunter sport fishing fleet in La Paz, Baja, Mexico for this past week of the 14th through the 21st of April 2019. Hope wherever you are, you're doing well. You had a great or are having a great Easter and Easter week. Hopefully your vacation's continuing like a lot of folks. It's still spring break down in La Paz and in Baja and in Mexico, so maybe you're one of those folks, or at least not having to get back to work right away. For us, let's talk about a little bit of fishing. You know, we're in that transitional time. It's not quite spring, it's not quite summer, it's not quite winter. You know, it's been a tough winter all over North America. And, you know, a couple weeks ago, we had some great fishing for about 2 weeks. The winds laid down, and I thought we'd turn the corner. Yeah, so much for that. You know, we're still, like I say, in that transitional time. Some days are windy. We got some easy days. This past week, out of the 7 days of the week, we had 4 days that we probably shouldn't have gone out at all. 3 days were pretty good and produced some really good fish. And depending upon the weather, that, you know, has a real reflection on what we're catching, where we're able to fish, whether we're even able to get bait. So for about 4 days this week, so the winds blew once again. Really rough to be out there. It was hard to get to some of the better fishing spots. More importantly, it was very, very tough to get to the live bait. So we had to do some trolling using rapalas over the shallow areas, dropping down the iron, fishing the yo-yo jigs, you know, working out those arm and shoulder and back muscles. Produced some fish, you know, but not really great fishing. Got some pargo, some cabria, some inshore species, bonito, you know, stuff like that, but just some easy action. But given the kind of fishing we had on the better days, I really felt bad for the folks who went out in the days when the winds were blowing. But that's how it's going to be. This coming week, you know, we've got temperatures running in the high 80s, low 90s. It's warm, the sun's out, but we just want to, you know, kick those winds out of there. So each week it's going to be like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We are in the fishing season, but we're just starting to get into it. Normally, our fishing season runs, you know, April to about October. So we're just into it. We're going to get things rolling. And, you know, just by the reflection of the fish we caught on the days we could fish, my gosh, what a lot of species we got. I think I counted something like 12 or 13 different species we got. On the days we could get out there, the days we got bait, we had caballitos, we had mackerel, we had sardines, we were trolling. We got blue water species. Dorado. We had, you know, check out the photos here. Paul Nagata from San Francisco hooked into a 108-pound tuna that he fought for 2 hours on a really light rod, although he had 50-pound test on it. He and Captain Poncho were fishing the south end of Cerralvo Island where some yellowtail had been popping up. Not doing so good. Got a little bit of action. Was late in the day. Time to head back to the beaches. They went one more drift with a caballito and they hooked up on this massive, legit tuna. Fought it for 2 hours on this light rod, had to pass the rod back and forth every 15 minutes, got it back to the beach, and just big chunks of sashimi and poke. I think there were 70-something pounds of meat that we got out of this thing. A legit 108 pounds. They had a scale on the beach. So, you know, thumbs up, hats off to you, Paul and Captain Poncho. But fish like that are running around out there. Those aren't cold water fish. We're starting to see some warm water fish. Had some Dorado out there. There's some wahoo out there as well. Hooked a couple this week. They all broke off or bit off, but we know they're there. Also, some of the commercial guys, they're starting to see some billfish. So it looks like the season's going to get rolling. But, you know, inshore, now, once again, what a lot of variety we had. We had pargo, 2 kinds of pargo. The big pargo lisa that we call mullet snapper. We also had some dog tooths as well. And we had barred pargo. So 3 kinds of pargo, including some really big ones. I'm talking some 15, 16-pound fish. Some big cabria. Once again, the trophy-sized Mexican sea bass that we call cabria. Well, I mean, just chunks of meat coming out of there over the rocks, shallow areas, not having to go out very far, either using live bait, which is kind of tough because they'll take you right into the rocks and boom, snap, gone, bendo, and it goes away. We call those zing powie fish because your rod goes zing powie and it's gone. What works more effectively is to drag rapalas over those areas because at least you've got tension on the rod, you've got some backing going on, you can horse these fish and hopefully turn their heads outside of rocks and get them to the boat. Some nice fish there. 2 different kinds of yellow of snappers, got bonito, jack crevalle, so a lot of variety inshore, and I'm only looking for that to get better, as well as for the blue water, warm water fish to come in. So anyway, that's going to really do a really quick wrap up for our Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report for the week of the 14th to the 21st of April 2019. Like I said, God bless you all. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a great Easter and your vacation is still continuing as you're listening to this. Thanks for checking in. This is Jonathan for Tailhunter International and the Mexican Minute La Paz video fishing report. You take care now.